Victorian, and we are here to talk the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I'm going to be talking a little bit in code today because if you watch my channel and you watch my live, yes.
Is the plane going down? Are we going to die? Why are you saying I'm salty?
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am the Housewife Historian. You can call me Lindsay, and today we're going to be talking about the Real Housewives of New Jersey and what has transpired over the weekend. We've gotten some confirmation about this pause that's allegedly going to be coming up, so I want to discuss that with you guys. And then, of course, we had Gia Giudice graduating from college. We'll talk a little bit about that for a second. Also, Jax and Taylor are joining, allegedly signed contracts to join Vanderpump Rules next season. And a Hulu series coming out about Randall Emmett as well. Those are just a couple of things that happened this weekend that I want to talk to you guys about. But before we get into all that, guys, can you please make sure you hit the like button? It really helps my channel. It helps like YouTube's algorithm get my info out and about, get my videos out. And if you guys want to subscribe to my channel, turn your notifications on. Every time I get tea, guys, I run all of my tea through my YouTube channel first before I put it on any of my platforms. But you can find me on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. Also, that's why it's great to have your notifications on, because I don't like tease you guys with it. I just come on and we start talking about it live. That's the way I like to do my tea. So if you guys are interested, then put those notifications on and let's go ahead and get started. So again, guys, we had Gia Giudice's graduation Sunday, Mother's Day. It looks like the whole family was in attendance as far as it pertains to Teresa, Louis, and then also, guys, we know that Juicy Joe's brother and sister-in-law all have girls as well. Teresa and Joe Giudice have told us that before. And so total with their 4 daughters, I think there's 11 grandchildren. So Teresa filmed a really sweet video of all of the cousins. It looks like they made it to Gia's college graduation to support her. There are 11 of them. And sadly, it looks like nobody from her brother's side of the family attended the event. So guys, I think that we have to understand a couple of things here. One thing is, we don't want to see this feud be passed down from generation to generation. But at the same time, how do you navigate something like this, right? Like, these are still really young adults. I think Teresa's children are mature in a fact that they've had a lot of life experience, especially Gia. I think she really took over her mother's role when she was away for those 12 months. And I think that life experience and hard times builds character, but it doesn't mean that you know how to take care of everything, right? And just like you have people that can co-parent amazingly, like they can co-parent, they can live, they vacation. I mean, it would rock your world sometimes. You see how well co-parenting, how well people can get along after the fact. And my cousin is like a great example of that. Her ex-husband lives across the street. Like, she has since remarried and they have a child and he's involved in that child's life as well as his own. And so it works for a lot of people. Some people can really co-parent. And I think that you seem to see the same situation in this. Like, some people can break away from the generational feud and other people can't. And when we see people like Kathy Hilton, Kyle Richards, Kim Richards, we see them fighting and we see their children saying the same thing. Like, they do their best to get along and stay getting along and not let their mother's feud become their feud. But that doesn't always work. If we remember when Nikki Hilton got married, I think Nikki had Farrah, Kyle's oldest daughter, in the wedding as a bridesmaid. And Portia, the littlest one, was a maid of honor. But whatever Kathy and Kyle fell out about, it was over Mauricio and Rick Hilton's business, right? And so they disinvited Kyle's husband. And to the children, of course, that's their dad, so they're immediately going to be offended. So it's just, but I think for the most part, they really do try to let the sisters work it out, and that's really the best thing that you can do. So I don't know, I feel bad, but glad still that she has a lot of support, and really, that's really all that counts. It looks like, thankfully, MG and JG's kids, they have a lot of support from her family. And so it's nice that Teresa has a lot of family for her children to, even though they may be coming from Joe's family, because Joe Giudice, Juicy Joe's family is practically Teresa's family. They knew her parents. I've told this story before, but Juicy Joe's parents drove Teresa's mom to the hospital to like have Teresa. And so they've been friends for years and years and years. And then Teresa and Joe being married all those years. So I think that they're a lot like family to Teresa as well. And that's a blessing. So really, as long as we know that she was supported, she was loved, she had family and friends there, then I guess we should just consider it, consider her blessed and let it be what it's going to be, right? Okay, let's talk a little bit about it getting put on pause, guys. First of all, a couple of things I want to discuss with you. I've said in my videos before, and I continue to say it. Don't ever let any of these blogs tell you who signed contracts and who hasn't signed contracts. I think when this website came out, like, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, talking about contracts between Melissa and Jackie and Teresa and all this nonsense, I told my subscribers, if you listen, don't listen to them. It's not true. They're never, ever, ever going to do contracts until the reunion airs. It doesn't matter if it filmed. They won't do it until the reunion actually airs, because believe it or not, they really do want to see how people perceive, these reality stars. And we had not heard anything about a pause thus far. I will say that though. We may have heard rumors about who was coming back. Okay. But and maybe there were discussions about who was coming back, but now there's no coming back because they're going on a pause. Why is this a big deal? Because sometimes when Bravo puts people on pause, you don't ever see them again. It's his nice way of. And yes, the Real Housewives in New Jersey is getting, I think they're getting good ratings. I think that they're very popular. I think Teresa's just as popular as the Real Housewives New Jersey series themselves. She's just as big as the Housewives. But it makes me really wonder why all of a sudden Bravo is calling for this pause. And allegedly, we're going to hear more from David and Kim next Saturday. And it's going to be some stuff that we have not heard anywhere else yet. My mind just feels like the timing between this pause and the timing between the report that Dana Wilkie came out with, which I'm not sure if you can listen to that on her YouTube or not. Some people were saying you had to be a part of her Patreon, but I thought she was bringing it from her Patreon to YouTube. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. And I don't want to speak on the allegations. But Dana did say in her video that she sent them to Andy Cohen. Well, she sent the interview, or she sent information, or whatever the case may be. And I think that we're forgetting that there's been another woman who has been advocating for like narcissistic abuse, and that's his ex. And I still think that she is like talking, and she's still around. And that's, her prerogative. I don't know if they were like Real Housewives of New Jersey fans before like they broke up and he got with Teresa. I don't know. It's very I'm not really sure how to take it, because a lot of times victims don't, they want to like less contact with the abuser a lot of the times. And I'm just saying that it's a rough situation to navigate. I don't think we can really understand everyone's intentions involved. It makes it really hard for viewers and bloggers to discuss all of the circumstances and the situations, because we have people online who are like so determined to run a special narrative that you are either bullied, you're doxxed, your account's shut down. It makes it really, really difficult. Okay. So I'm just saying, in my opinion, I don't have an opinion about all of that that's going on, except that I hope that it's not true. But I do feel like they are determined women. Dana's not a stupid woman. She's not a stupid woman. She was on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, just because she might have been like kind of ditzy on the show or whatever. Dana has a lot of connections. Okay. She's not stupid. And Vanessa's not stupid either. Vanessa's educated as well. And I think that if they felt strongly enough about the allegations, that they would make sure that those landed where they needed to land as it pertains to Bravo. Are you guys picking up what I'm putting down? I think that they would make sure the right person got the email, got the foot, got whatever it was that they had to look into it. They couldn't not look into it, because can you imagine the liability if somebody made an accusation, especially with the Me Too movement, and Bravo did no investigation? They just acted, whatever. I don't know. I'm just saying they're a huge network and those are huge allegations. And I just think that even if it's not true, even if there's like an inkling that it's not true, Bravo still has a responsibility to their viewers and to the network that says we don't employ people like that, right? I mean, that's completely reasonable. And I'm sure that Louis and Teresa would feel the same way, right? So if he doesn't have nothing to hide and this is all bogus, hopefully then we'll see a return of the Real Housewives of New Jersey in the fall. But if something happens and they start doing this investigation and they start finding things, then I think we're going to see a different tune. My fear is that the other castmates, with the cast so divided as it is, I really think they may end up blaming Louis for the pause, right? Because just like all of us are like, oh, they'll be back in the fall, they'll be back in the fall. But when that's your paycheck, that's like your boss laying you off and being like, we'll see you in 6 months. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. What are you supposed to do? You don't, you're, I think a lot of the women live paycheck to paycheck. I'm not exactly sure how the Bravo contracts work, but I do know that there was a woman named Bunny. She actually does series on Instagram. She was going to be part of a reality show, and I think Bethany Frankel, allegedly, Bethany, don't send me with a cease and desist now. Allegedly, I think Bethany was part of the producers, and what they like had them sign a contract, and then COVID hit, so they couldn't film. But in the contract, maybe they did a pilot, and then when it came time to sign the contract, it was during COVID, and the contract basically said they would have to give up like 40% of anything that she made, no matter what, even if it was like her brand before she was on the show. And they didn't even want her like making TikToks out of her closet or nothing. And then she was hit with like a cease and desist. But my point is that Bravo can still have a lot of control, I think, about what the women like promote, what they don't promote, and what portion they have to give Bravo and what portion they don't have to. I don't know how that works when the entire franchise goes on pause. I mean, we heard that the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills were go on a little bit of break and start filming later than usual. But we didn't hear pause when it came to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. We just did not hear pause. And it's just very, very, very strange to me, guys. Why is it all of a sudden? I think that production and they were ready to move forward with the next season, whether regardless of who was getting a contract or not. I feel like they were lining up to start filming probably for June. Okay. So again, you have to remember, if these ladies are living paycheck to paycheck, they're like, okay, cool. The reunion's going to air. I'll get my paycheck from that. And then we should be working, yada, yada, yada. Like, no working, no pay. Okay. And we already know that people like, not being me, but people are having financial problems as it is on the show when they're already getting a paycheck and they're struggling, right? I'm just saying, guys, it's not going to be as cut and dry as we think it is. I think that there's a lot going on behind the scenes that we don't necessarily know about. And I think that it must be serious enough that Bravo would put them on a pause to, they don't want to say what they're doing. But I mean, again, guys, what is the reason for the pause? It's not because of the fight. It's not because the show's getting dark. Bravo didn't say any of that. They would have planned a pause a long time ago after they like read the audience. And again, guys, it doesn't make sense to me that that, like, if production, hypothetically, if Dana Wilkie was right and production is on Danielle to tell what the ladies told her, then I feel like, why did they wait till the season finale? Because this has been their storyline. I mean, this is what they've been talking about all season long. So it's like, why not bring out the rumor earlier then? That doesn't make a lot of sense to me, unless if they were looking back on the footage, looking back on the content, and didn't think they really had a lot going on, so they just kept moving with that same storyline. And because they couldn't really bring Laura Lee in that late in the game, the best thing they could do was have the drama of uh, Danielle telling Melissa. But again, doing it at the finale, leaving us on like a cliffhanger kind of. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. It just doesn't. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. Again, the pause was not planned. So we have to find the reason why they went on pause. Was it the bad people saying the show's dark, shame, calling for people to get fired? Was it that? Because I feel like that happens every year with some franchise or another. Maybe is that social media these days? I don't know. Look at how it was at Beverly Hills. I mean, Garcelle's son actually had bots going after him. Racist ass bots going after her son. And Bravo didn't take, they took like a couple month break, but that was it. I don't know, guys. I just think it's just a little bit off to me. And I hope that everything is good with everyone. No, I don't think anyone wants to see them not working. Everyone does, sincerely love the Real Housewives of New Jersey, but they weren't getting that family feel that they were getting before. I even posted on my Instagram a couple photos of the husbands, and I said, like, what happened to the love for the Real Housewives of New Jersey husbands? Like 2 seasons ago, people could not get enough of the husbands. They loved them. They thought they were comic relief. And I just wanted to know what happened between then and now, like, per the viewer, that their like opinion has changed so drastically on the men. Because there's a lot, I read lots and lots of comments, right? And there's a lot of comments about the guys, a lot. And somebody said, well, it's because before the men were able to like separate themselves, and they would say like, we're just about having fun, let's leave the drama to the women, yada yada yada. And so that's why we enjoyed them, and now they're getting involved in the drama. People get frustrated with JG and his temper. They get frustrated. Some women, people suffer from PTSD, and when he goes from 0 to 100, I think that sometimes people even, they say in the comments, like, it's triggering for them to even like watch, or they'll say he reminds me of my abusive dad, or whatever the case may be. So I think that's discouraging for viewers too. So I don't know. I'm just saying, it's all kind of wacky. I don't know what producers are going to do. Hopefully they have some sort of a plan. I mean, if anyone can mess it up, it'll be Bravo. I mean, look at the OC. Now they got Heather Dubrow's leaving. Why did you bring her back then? You brought her back for 2 seasons. You made everyone think she was going to save the show, and now she's going to take the boot, and you're going to bring Tamara back. Like, this is just too much. That's another show. Like, they don't take a break, they need a break too. A lot of comments saying they feel like New Jersey needs a break too. And here's the thing too. You can imagine how much more negotiable, if that's a word, reasonable, if that's a word, people are when it comes down to, again, no worky, no payee. Like, if it's get along or nobody makes a paycheck, what do you think is going to happen? They're going to figure out how to get along and how to film together and how to turn this around, right? I really think that is like the only way to probably, it's going to take a while if they revamped everything, because one of the things that people really loved about the Real Housewives of New Jersey was the fact that they had such a family dynamic. They had a family unit. Everyone's known each other for years and years and years, and people really appreciate that because they know that it's authentic. They know that Dolores and Joe and Teresa all went to school together, and so people appreciate that. When you see comments from fans, a lot of them are longtime fans, first of all, and secondly, they want people like Jacqueline and Kim D and the not old timers, but people from back in the day, Danielle Staub, like, they're still looking for that engagement. They're still looking for the relationship between everyone, but they're just, I don't know. I don't know what can really move forward. Hopefully they can just maybe with Bravo, if hypothetically Bravo is looking into these allegations or looking into anything, that they are just able to clear it, like, with no worry, and then just they can get right back onto filming, and they won't even have to tell anyone that that's what they were doing. They'll make it seem like they were, doing something way more important. They won't even want, because they don't want you to know that they're looking into anything. Why wouldn't Bravo want you to know that they're looking into anything? Because then it's going to make you look suspicious, or it would make viewers feel like they should be suspicious. And that's not what Bravo wants right now, especially with Teresa's wedding special coming out, and especially with the reunion. And I think just in general, because Teresa and Louis have the potential to really be on the show and probably bring a lot of content with the four girls and blending their family together. And Teresa's become bigger than the Real Housewives of New Jersey themselves. People love her. It's a Teresa show most of the time, guys. And I think that's another thing no one's considering. Like, everyone's putting this blame on Teresa and Joe. But if other castmates would have had stronger storylines, maybe we could have seen more of that instead of only this whole thing. But we saw no storylines anywhere else. We didn't. So what else? That's why I think they had to roll with this, and even roll with this rumor about Melissa. And here's another thing I want to tell you guys. I posted an article from 2011 on my Instagram, and the only reason that I felt like it was 2011, no, 2021, sorry. Yeah. Because of the fact that I want you guys to remember the timeline. So Teresa got married in August of last year. We will be viewing the wedding in like June of almost an entire year after it was filmed, right? And then Margaret told us in the comments, plus we've heard time and time again from lots and lots of bloggers, one thing we do agree on is that when Laura Lee Jensen spoke with Jennifer and Teresa and spilled the tea allegedly about, Laura Lee spoke with Jennifer and Teresa and spilled the tea on Melissa. And Margaret and everyone is pretty much under the agreement that Melissa and Joe knew about the rumor a year prior. Okay. So now we have a 2-year gap because we have them finding out a year prior to filming, and then they film and we see it a year later. So that puts 2 years between her and this alleged incident in this car in New York City and now. And if you guys go back and watch a couple of like the older episodes, not old, just like, I don't know, 3 years ago maybe, that was their storyline. That's why I posted the article, because their storyline was how they were having it would have been into 2019 and into 2020, because Joe was complaining about Melissa always being out 3 and 4 nights a week. You know, he wants his wife home, yada, yada, yada. And allegedly COVID hit. And so obviously nobody was going out and about anywhere because of COVID. And so that put Melissa back at home, which repaired their relationship. But I think that's why Margaret really thinks he's chauvinistic, to be honest with you. I believe that 100%. But I think that maybe they were having some issues, or that could have been a lie again for a storyline. But they did do an article in Bravo about it, and I think somewhere else. You guys can look them up. It would have been like season 10, 11 maybe. Again, or you can go to my Instagram, HW Historian, with the number 2 after it, because it is my second account, because I was so blessed to be hacked last week, or was it? Yeah, it's been like a week. So I love that, right? Also, let's see here. Oh, again, guys, Real Housewives of New Jersey, Gia's graduation. I wanted to tell you guys something else. I can't remember what it was. Oh, I remember. So Teresa's brother posted a photo of his mother and said like something very, lovely and kind about her, and then he like tagged everyone but Teresa, which I felt like was a little harsh, but that's just me. A couple of other things over the weekend. I don't know if I want to tell you guys those or not. I'm sorry. I'm like thinking in my head if I want to. I'm going to pass on that. Anyways, let's talk about Bravo and Boo posted a really cute TikTok of this woman who said that Jackson Taylor have confirmed on the low with a source that they have signed contracts for next season of Vanderpump Rules. Some people don't know how to feel about that. I want to know what you guys think. We haven't covered Vanderpump Rules on this channel. I really want to cover the Real Housewives of Atlanta, but I don't get a very good, what is the word? Like, I don't get a lot of views. Like, people don't really seem interested when I post about the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And I hate that because I really love them. So hopefully I can gather some Real Housewives of Atlanta fans, because I don't know if there aren't as many of you, or I just don't, a lot of my subscribers aren't. I'm not sure. But yeah, I just want to know where all my Real Housewives of Atlanta fans are. Every time I post, I don't get very many views. So I just thought maybe you guys aren't super interested in it. Also, there is a new Hulu series coming out that is going to be scandalous about not Russell, what is his name? Emmett. What is his first name? Lala's Randall. Allegedly, Randall. Lala from Vanderpump Rules. Were they married? I don't think so. Baby daddy, maybe? I don't think they got married, because they just had, their baby was pretty little when they broke up. And if you guys, well, you can't go back on my old Instagram, and maybe I still have it. I'm going to have to look for it. But I posted a DM that was in regards to him, and it was not like, it was sickening. It was very short and like not very long, but basically, the same thing that they're accusing New Jersey house husband of, basically that, but worse. And I'm not sure if they're gonna cover that in the Hulu series, but I would love to post that DM again for you guys, so you can see what was really transpiring behind the scenes over here. And then don't forget that the ex-wife, filed an emergency protective order for the kids because the FBI allegedly called her to interview about, they were questioning her about him. Now, because Lala wasn't questioned by the FBI, I guess she probably isn't in a position to file emergency custody, but I'm sure that that's like the last thing she really wants. What else did I want to tell you guys? I think that that's it for right now. Yeah, I gotta go cover the Real Housewives of Atlanta because I haven't even had a chance to watch it yet. And I can't believe this pause. Again, guys, I just think that this has to do with something bigger. I think we're going to really see that housewives venturing out, doing different projects, because they're going to be, needing to earn their paychecks, earn some money. Really, I guess, like I said, I chat with David and Kim from Behind the Velvet Rope. Sometimes we speak more often than not. But he'll tell me, like, there's a really good, I'm about to drop some serious tea, so you might want to, check it out. And I appreciate that, right? Because any of us bloggers, we appreciate each other, like, I got some good tea, go listen, whatever. And so he messaged me, we were chatting, and he said Saturday it's going down. I don't know what that means, because of course, like, he doesn't tell me, obviously I have to wait like everyone else, but it's going down in the DM. And I don't know what that means. It could be anything, because it's Kim D. Kim D has a lot of connections, guys. She's been in Franklin Lakes for a long time. Okay. Like, if any of you are from a small town, then you know somebody like Kim D, especially if you're from like the tri-state New York area, someone like Kim D, and they do have connections. Some people love them, some people hate them, but regardless, they know everyone. And a certain type of like statue or status, if you will, in the community comes with that. So I just think that she does get some information that we don't really always hear everywhere else. And allegedly Saturday, we're going to hear the real reason. And hopefully it's not what I, told you guys, that I had a feeling that it could be over this, looking over what was said, maybe, but maybe not. It could be totally something different. I'm excited for the finale for you guys to see it. I've had a little bit of tea on that, but I just didn't want to, come out with it yet. I want you guys to see it for yourselves. And then that way you guys can form an opinion. And then hopefully you guys can be able to put the puzzle pieces together a little bit better as it pertains to, especially to the guys. So, yeah, I'm just gonna say let's watch tomorrow. Hopefully everything is good with the ladies, good with the franchise, and we can get this ball rolling and maybe just wrap this season up. Get through we don't want to obviously get through her wedding special because we've all waited for a very long time to see it, almost an entire year. I did want to say that it does seem a little disappointing that we really didn't see any wedding planning going on with Teresa this season. I don't know if they saved all of that for the wedding special. I'm not sure. And I did hear, well, Kim D, I think, said that like Priscilla and her hairdresser, like their feelings were hurt about not being asked to be in Teresa's wedding. And I think that I may have thought of that at the time but now that she said that, I was like, wow, I feel like Teresa and Priscilla don't hang out as much as they used to. But I feel like they like love each other and they were just hanging out at Jennifer Aiden's birthday party together. Um, I'm sure that Teresa is not as available to hang out or to go do things because she's, newly married and they're traveling and doing their own thing. And I'm sure that before that, maybe Teresa had a little bit more time for her girlfriends and then maybe they hung out a little bit more. I think Priscilla has a child. She's like in a serious relationship, but obviously there's still a lot of love there. So hopefully all of this mess that's going on in New Jersey will just die over the summer. Everyone can burn off all of their frustrations and resentments at the Jersey Shore and then be ready to film for the fall. I don't know. But anyway, guys, make sure that you hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, turn your notifications on, and we will chat soon. Bye guys.